An apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, but this one did. It carved its own path, rolling purposefully through the industrial corridors of Chakan. One identity swap and several quirky adventures later, this is what the lab produced. Less pulp, more zest, and very specific in function and form. A different orange, definitely not an apple, but infinitely more interesting than either could have imagined.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the KTM 390 Enduro R. And when something ends with the letter R, you know it's serious business. But wait, what the f is Enduro?
Coming through like a freight train. Look me up, I'm on the front page.
Enduro motorcycling is like motocross's wild, adventure-loving cousin. Imagine blasting through forests, splashing across rivers, climbing gnarly hills, all while racing the clock and dodging all of Mother Nature's creations. It's part race, part survival, and your bike has to be street legal because, surprise, you might zip through a village mid-race. Riders juggle speed, skill and stamina across epic terrains with a map or hope to guide them. Think of it as the off-road Olympics for two-wheel daredevils who laugh in the face of mud, rocks and exhaustion. It's chaos, it's grit, it's Enduro.
What you say, boy? Making all that noise.
There are obvious differences between this and the 390 Adventure, and it has to be different because that's an adventure motorcycle and this is an Enduro. So right from the look, from the front, the way the headlamp is designed, very minimalist, to the display, which is again very small, to the switch gear, to the tank, which is now 9 liters, to this single piece seat. Quite a few significant differences between the Adventure and the Enduro. Now the only thing that remains Control C, Control V, there are two things. One is this engine and the mainframe. The suspension hardware is the same, but the internals are completely new for this motorcycle. The tires are also different. They are from Mitas. They're dual purpose tires. 70-30 is what KTM says, 70 for the road, 30 off it. I think it's more 50-50. The rim might look the same, but this will use a tube. Now the only reason why we are getting tube in this is because KTM says that you're out on a trail, you get a bent rim and you're stuck with a tubeless setup. But if you have a tube, you will be able to come back to civilization. Another interesting thing is that the Enduro R that's available internationally, some of the specs are different. So the suspension travel is more, there is increased seat height, there is more ground clearance. See, I don't have a problem with the seat height and the ground clearance, but maybe more travel could have helped. Right now, I don't have a problem with it, but more travel is always better. Now, the reason why we don't get that spec here is because that's even taller. And we as a country are still very new to this format of motorcycling. So KTM wanted to make things accessible. They're giving you a chance to step into this world of motorcycling. And that's why, even if it's taller, I think it's still manageable. Otherwise, it's a fantastic package and I quite like it.
The 390 Enduro R doesn't just handle trails, it turns them into a playground. Loose rocks, water crossings, climbs, it makes it all feel easy. It's not the lightest and it won't win a ground clearance contest, but with 253 mm under you and spot on weight balance, it's more than ready to take you places. 2 extra rear sprocket teeth mean it shoots out of corners like it's late for something fun. The long seat nudges you forward, so the rear steps out with every throttle twist, and you will love it. The suspension doesn't have the travel that you desire, but it's perfectly capable for beginners and intermediates and promises to deliver years of entertainment. For the professionals, maybe the 356 days makes sense, but if you aren't chasing trophies, welcome to the party.
If you're looking at the 390 Enduro R primarily as a city motorcycle, then here are a few things that you should know. The engine, the ride quality, the way you sit on this bike, the weight management, all of that is absolutely fantastic. But there are a few areas where you might face some issues. Let's start off with the seat height. If you're anywhere below 5 feet 8 inches. You are going to tiptoe, there's no doubt about it. And if you are riding this in city traffic, where you have to get your feet down every 10 meters, 20 meters, then it is going to be a problem. The second is this fuel tank, 9 liters, which means you'll have to go to the fuel station often. I am expecting anywhere between, let's say, 180 to 220 kilometers. The third thing, tires. These are dual purpose tires, 70-30 split, 70 on-road, 30 off-road. I think it's 50-50 like I've said before. But the problem is you're not going to get great tire life, which means you'll have to change tires between 4,500 to 6,000 kilometers. And finally, the tube setup. You guys clearly know what I feel about tube tires. In the city, if you have a puncture, then people just refuse to touch it. So this is what you get with the 390 Enduro R, and these are the things that you should consider if you're buying this as a city motorcycle.
Think of the 390 Enduro as the natural upgrade to the X-Pulse. Equally at home on short city runs, but with the muscle to throw down when the trail gets rough. In a world full of keyboard warriors and wish list adventurers, this bike actually makes you want to go out and get dirty. That said, calling it the R feels like a bold move. An S or even an X might have kept expectations in check. And if the international spec suspension had been offered as a power part from day one, that would have saved a lot of internet grumbling and made a lot of riders happier.
Motorcycling is casual, motorcycling is a hobby, motorcycling most definitely is a daily activity for most of the Aam Janta. But motorcycling is also a sport. Enduro is a sport, and you need to have a certain level of fitness, certain set of skills to actually experience this 100%. And that brings me to the question, should you really buy it? Does it really make sense? You should buy it if you already have a primary bike. You should buy it if you have a pickup truck and the motorcycle can go on the back of that pickup truck to a nearby dirt park. You should buy it if you are bored of your daily ride and you're looking for something fun over the weekends. You should buy it because it's going to make you very, very happy. Now, I don't know the pricing today, but by the time this video is out and you're watching it right about now, there should be a text title somewhere over here. And if my guess is right, it should be between the 390 Adventure X and the S, very close to the KLX's pricing. Now, I don't want to compare this motorcycle to the KLX because of how different the power and torque figures are. So this just sits in a league of its own. If you have an X-Pulse and if you're looking for something bigger, something that can be in the garage for a really long time and something that you can learn on quite a bit more, then this is the motorcycle for you. You should buy it because there's nothing like it in the market today. On that note, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, comment and let me know what your favorite feature about this bike is and share this with your friends. I would also like to say one more thing. The SMC is also on its way, the Supermoto. So exciting times for us motorcyclists for sure. But for now, this is the story of the 390 Enduro R. Thank you once again. My name is Varun Painter and I will see you later.